Hey everyone, it's your favorite Italian American plumber. And today I just wanted to come here and talk about how much I love Super Mario Brothers or the Super Mario series in general. Now, of course, as you guys know, I'm disabled. I'm in a wheelchair. That meant that I couldn't ever really directly like play any sports or anything like that growing up. I did eventually discover weightlifting, but that didn't come until I was a teenager around 2010, 2011. And or no, really 2011, 2012 actually. Um and um so point is, I spend a lot of time inside. Most of my entertainment still to this day, even though I do lift and read and stuff like that, comes through video games. And the first game I ever played was Super Mario All Stars. Specifically the Super Mario All Stars version of Super Mario Brothers 1. And the story of how I came to play that was that okay, so my parents came to Guatemala when I was 2 to get help for me for my cerebral palsy, and part of that usually when you're young and as you grow because your tendons kind of like bunch up and they don't stretch out as you grow. So, like, essentially, had they not done this surgery, my legs would have been like almost permanently, um, like at a 90-degree angle, like they are right now as I'm sitting, or a little less than that, but still like bent permanently. Um, And so I had to get an abductor release surgery. And my parents, of course, they were new migrants, right? They couldn't, it's not like, for example, they had degrees or anything like that. My mom got like a secretary's certificate from La Universidad de San Carlos in Guatemala, and my dad, um he studied mechanical and chemical engineering at um also at La Universidad de San Carlos and Universidad Rafael Landívar, I think. But he didn't actually get his degrees. He was too lazy, I guess, to finish the thesis portion. uh, but yeah, so like, it's not like they had any usable degrees. They had usable experience, but not usable degrees. So of course they had to take, as most Latino migrants do, low wage jobs. And even back then, American medical care is expensive. So, what did they do? We went to Shriners Hospital for Children in Tampa, which is run by the Shriners, which are a fraternal organization of the Freemasons. And I know a lot of people have a lot to say about that. There are, conspiracies and stuff, but like, they always treated us well and they always served. And I know many other families, no matter where you came from, which is interesting because they tend to be Trump supporters, but that's a story for a different day. Um, And yeah, that's where I got all my treatment up until I was 21 years old. I did get a general practitioner in 2018, but I was still primarily with them. But the point is, they do everything to distract the kids from the pain and suffering of their surgeries, and they have a lot of amusements in in the um the hospital. um like I'm talking in 2001 to 2003, bro, they had Xboxes, PlayStations, GameCubes, all three. Um, and then when I was older, when I was a teenager, and when I would go to the teenagers lounge and they had Xbox 360s, they had PS3s, and so I was there having my surgery. I was in a cast. They put a metal bar in between my legs. Um, and one day, I don't remember exactly what prompted it, but they brought in this like huge TV, a CRT TV on a little cart, and it had this gray box, uh, and plugged into it was a controller and a little thing sticking out the top, and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And it turned out it was a Super Nintendo with Super Mario All Stars. Um, and yeah, I just started to play it. I was like, and a lot of people with my condition struggle with holding on to controllers and stuff like that. And not me really. Like, what I do struggle with is, for example, using two Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons separately. I can't do that. It has to be a Pro controller, or it has to be the two of them in a grip. Like, I think it's because I have ataxia, and that requires like super super fine motor movements within both hands at the same time. My brain, because of the brain damage that I have, just doesn't like that doesn't compute for me, guys. And yeah, and bro, I was blown away. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so fun." You press a direction on the D-pad and it goes in that direction and you can control it. Wow. um and yeah, I just remember Super Mario All Stars, man. It changed the way I view entertainment. Before that, I would just kind of watch TV most of the time, or whatever. But like, yeah, it blew my mind, and like ever since then, I've been a Mario fanatic, bro. I'm not actually very good at video games, but the classic Mario Brothers series is the one series where I've beat all the games. The only one, the classic one I haven't beat, which I think is the case for most people, so I don't feel too bad about it, is is Super Mario Brothers The Lost Levels, because that's crazy hard, bro. I don't know anyone that's beat that game 100%. I really don't. Even with the level to level save feature that they have just in that game in Super Mario All Stars. Um and like, yeah, everything Mario, as a teenager and a preteen and a kid, I absolutely love just because it was my first one. And I mean, I still think they're great games, guys. Um, I had New Super Mario Brothers Wii. I loved that game as a kid. And then recently, last year, I beat and played through Mario Wonder. Um, and it was great. And again, eventually, we got an SNES at my house. We were poor, man, but we did get like a used NES and a used copy of um Super Mario All Stars. Because back then, it's not like it is now. The SNES games, you could find those at EB Games, as it was called back then. I think it's still called EB Games in Canada. Um, for like dirt cheap, bro. And I remember, bro, just waking up early sometimes on weekends, and my dad just showing us all the secrets in Super Mario Brothers 3 and Super Mario World and stuff like that. And eventually I got a Game Boy Advance and would beat well, I beat Super Mario Brothers 2 and Super Mario World on the Game Boy Advance by myself, not the other two Mario Advance games. And then we got a GameCube, bro, and I had taken a break from games, like actually playing them other than watching my brother play them. Uh which I'm making a Kingdom Hearts video next. I'll talk about that. And uh yeah guys. I started playing Super Mario Sunshine, bro. I know Super Mario Sunshine is controversial, but Super Mario Sunshine and Super Mario 64 are also goaded. Goaded, like I love them. Um Super Mario All Stars 3D Collection or Super Mario 3D All Stars is technically the most expensive game in my game collection because it was limited. But yeah, I have that. Um and like I said, because my body couldn't handle separate controllers, I never played Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii, even though I had one, because I couldn't do the control scheme and there were no alternate control schemes. So I had to wait till the Switch. And I love Mario Galaxy as well. I haven't gotten the Mario Brothers 1 plus 2 pack, even though I have a Switch 2, because I'm sorry, but that pack is kind of highway robbery, and I will only be playing Super Mario Brothers 2 or Super Mario Galaxy 2. Sorry, yeah, bro, if it ever comes down to like 50 or 40 bucks, then I'll get it, but not right now. Um, and bro, it's just such a whimsical concept, bro. It's ridiculous, but it somehow works. Like, you're a plumber, you go down pipes, you save princesses. That's hard. I'm sorry, but anyone who doesn't think that's hard is lying to themselves. And I'm excited for the movie, the Mario Galaxy movie. I saw the first Mario movie, loved it. I'm glad that video game movies are getting they bro, they're not gonna be like in the Criterion collection or whatever, but for what they are, they're good. Sonic movie, same. But yeah, guys, anyway, that's how much I love and my experiences with Mario and Mario All Stars and the Mario series. All right, see you guys. Bye.